Come on in and take a load off, because today I will be taking a look and paging through The King in Yellow, the annotated edition from Arc Dream Publishing. So pull up a chair, let's get down to it, because it's scary, kids, scary. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host. And as I mentioned in the open, today we're going to actually page through and take a very close look at the hardcover edition of The King in Yellow, the annotated edition. Because Sammy already reviewed this, but she reviewed the PDF, and she scored it a perfect 10 out of 10. And I would like to share with you the hardcover so that you can see what a really sweet book this is and how the fantastic artwork really pops. I want to make sure that we do this some justice. So anyway, The King in Yellow, the annotated edition, is from, as mentioned, Arc Dream Publishing. It was originally written by Robert W. Chambers, which was published in 1895. The annotations are by Kenneth Haidt, and if you are familiar with any kind of Lovecraftian role-playing, you know who Ken is. And the artwork is provided by Samuel Araya. The 220-page hardcover is available from Arc Dream Publishing for $89.99. The PDF is available from Drive-Thru RPG for $24.99. So let's swing on over to the other camera, because I've got the hardcover out here. First of all, I'm going to show you that it's kind of got this kind of like cracked, finished, almost like a turtle shell finish to it, which is really pretty cool. Really makes this kind of pop, really makes it stand out. So let's dive right in. If you are not familiar with The King in Yellow, it is a collection of 10 short stories that were written by Robert W. Chambers. As I mentioned already, it was originally published in 1895. The thing with The King in Yellow, the stories really inspired many of the weird tales authors of the day, especially H.P. Lovecraft. So if you are any fan of the mythos whatsoever, this is certainly a book you should read, especially at least the first 5 or 6 stories in here, because they really are kind of bizarre, kind of macabre. So, see the artwork here? This artwork is just stunning. It is beautiful. So we've got the forward here, and then we kind of jump right on in. So, The King in Yellow, for those of you who are not necessarily familiar with that term, that phrase, it is supposed to be a play that if you happen to read the play itself, you will go insane. And if you were to see a production of The King in Yellow, then you would certainly spread that insanity, spread that madness. So, just paging through here, as you see, there is just loads and loads of annotations as well. So we're going through the Repairer of Reputations. So as I mentioned, the first 4 stories, they kind of tie together a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. So, once again, I mean, look at this artwork. This artwork is just stunning. So we have the mask, and the mask actually does kind of delve a little bit into the play. Talking about the play, talking about the main characters in the play itself. Swinging on through here. Oh, these pages are a little stuck together there. There we go. The Court of the Dragon. Once again, this is another of the kind of macabre stories, or as I used to remember hearing E.G. Marshall on the old CBS Radio Mystery Theater. He always said macabre. Then we got The Yellow Sign, which, of course, if you are a Lovecraftian fan or a fan of the mythos, you know what the yellow sign represents. And I'm just kind of flipping through here quickly enough. The fifth story is kind of a ghost story. Oh, look at that. Nice, nice spread there. So we still have a bit of a kind of unusual, kind of a weird tale with the fifth story. The sixth story is The Prophet's Paradise isn't really like a horror tale or a tale of the bizarre, but it does have a bit of kind of a twist ending to it. Then we have, actually I should say, I believe this is, this is prose. The Prophet's Paradise is actually prose. It's the Street of the Four Winds that I meant to say actually is the story that has a bit of a twist ending, a little kind of like a Ambrose Bierce sort of tale. Then the final three stories are more romantic tales. So we have the Street of the First Shell, which is a bit of a love story set in France during the Franco-Prussian War. Then we move into... Oops. I forgot this story is a lot longer than I remember it being. Then we have The Street of Our Lady of the Fields, which is another story that is set in Paris. But once again, this is more of a romance style, a romantic style. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's a romance story, but it is written more in a romantic style. As you can see, the non-macabre stories are a little bit longer than the ones that are kind of weird and strange. And then we have our final tale here. But I just love all the annotations as well. So keeping in mind that this was published originally in 1895, so of course there are going to be things that are mentioned or items that would be common knowledge to someone in the late 19th century that we don't know about today. And of course, a lot of these annotations help understand that. Then we have got our first appendix, which talks about Robert W. Chambers, who, interestingly enough, did not write a lot of weird fiction at all. So really, his weird fiction output is included in this book, and that was pretty much all of it. Then we've got the appendix talking about the King in Yellow, and as far as the reception that it received when it was originally published. And we've got three names from Bierce. So one thing that you may not realize if you are a Lovecraftian fan, or even if you enjoy any of the other mythos tales that are out there, that early on, in the 20s and 30s, when all these weird tales were being written, authors would actually borrow different things from other authors. So, for an example, Carcosa. You've heard of Carcosa if you're into the mythos. Holly, as well as Hastur, were all actually borrowed from Ambrose Bierce and his stories. So then we've got a bibliography here as well. Interestingly enough, if you saw the first season of True Detective, there's mention of the King in Yellow in that as well. And that's why the first season has a little bit of a Lovecraftian thread running through it. So there you have the annotated edition of The King in Yellow from Arc Dream Publishing. I have not finished reading it. I'll be the first to admit that I had never read the Robert W. Chambers stories, even though I'm a big Lovecraftian fan and a huge fan of the mythos. Yes, I gotta be honest, I never read them. But as you can see, this is a fantastic looking book. Beautiful artwork, really, really top notch. So of course, if you're not interested in the hardcover, which is available for $89.99, do keep in mind you can get the PDF as well through DriveThru RPG for $24.99. That said, do want to point out that the Gaming Gang is part of the affiliation with the One Bookshelf sites that are out there. So if you are going to go over to Drive-Thru RPG, please visit thegaminggang.com first and click on one of our banners. That way, if you do make a purchase, we get a little portion of that sale, and that helps keep us around. So there you have it. If you like the video, please give it a quick thumbs up. If you check out some of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel and you like them, by all means, please subscribe. And don't forget, ring that little bell, because not only will it tell you when a new video has been uploaded, it'll also tell you when my live stream, the Daily Dope, actually begins airing every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Central. All right, so thank you for joining me today. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and until next time, happy trails. If you're ready for some more fun and you'd like to check out the latest episode of The Daily Dope, my live Monday through Friday show that airs at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube, click right here. And if you'd like to roll the dice and push your luck and see a randomly selected video from the channel, click right here. You pays your money, you takes your chances. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thank you for watching.